Hey everybody, it's Kevin Bjorklund, and in this video, I am going to talk about how to wait on the Lord. So I'm going to show you how to wire your mind to wait on the Lord to experience the desire of your hope. Let's dive in. Now, I would imagine that you have something that you're hoping for. There's something in your life that you desire that is not currently your reality. And so I'm going to show you the coolest thing about how to wire your mind. And in order to do that, I'm first going to show you what the mind is and how the mind works. Okay, and this drawing looks really silly, and I've drawn it probably 1,000 times now, but this is your mind. Most people don't know what the mind looks like. They think it's the brain. They have these ideas of the heart and the brain and the soul and the mind, will, and emotions, but this simplifies all of that. So if you've ever been confused about what's the spirit, what's the soul, I know all of these things that we're taught, this picture really just kind of settles all of the confusion. So our mind is made or composed of two parts. You have your conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And the conscious mind is your thinking mind. So this is where you can create these ideas. We have mental muscles, and those are our imagination, intuition, perception, memory, reason, and will. Those are what make up our conscious mind. And then we have the subconscious mind. And so what I'm talking about today is how to wire your mind to wait on the Lord. Waiting on the Lord is not passive. And in fact, so many people never experience what they desire or the idea that they want because they don't wait on the Lord correctly. And so I'm going to show you exactly how to continue to wait on the Lord, guaranteeing that you experience the fruit of your desire, okay? And so it all comes down to this. You've got your conscious mind, and then you've got your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, it's like soil, okay? It can only accept. So the conscious mind, you can think whatever you want to think. You can create pictures in your mind, and you can accept or reject information. You can hear things on the news and you can say, I don't believe that. Or you can say, this is the way it is and there's no other way like it. That's accepting or rejecting information. The subconscious mind is not like that. It just accepts. It's exactly like soil. So you've got basically seed environment and soil environment, and the product of those two things produces your results, or the results that you experience in life. And so there's this process of waiting on the Lord for the thing that you're believing for. But here's what happens. We think as human beings in pictures. And so there is a picture in your mind of the thing that you want. Okay, and that picture, let's just call it, whatever it is, let's call it an idea. But you've got this idea in your mind of what you desire. And then in order for this idea to become your reality, it must be placed just like a seed going into soil. It must be accepted by your subconscious mind. It must go into this environment of belief. That's what the subconscious mind is. And that idea needs to be integrated with belief if it's ever going to produce in your life. And so there's this process of waiting on the Lord to experience the reality of what only your mind can see. The problem is, and this is why so many people go year after year after year, and their results never reflect what they actually want in life, because they dilute this idea, and the absence of progress creates a lack of belief. And so just like a seed going in the ground, I use this example often where you've got an acorn, and this acorn, this thing right here, I just call that for a lack of better words, this is the picture of the oak tree. So living in that acorn is a picture of what it is meant to be. And when that is planted in the ground, now all of the process of this acorn turning into the oak tree is beginning, and it's happening. And we call that the law of gestation. So this law of gestation is taking over, and as long as that seed is in the ground and it's getting watered, that picture is now taking place, and this is time, right? But what happens is so many people have this picture of what they want in life, and it needs to be planted in the subconscious mind, and this is where the beginning of waiting on the Lord takes place. But what happens is they forget about this time, this process of gestation. This is the same, just like a seed going into the ground, your ideas being rooted in belief require a certain amount of time for this thing to come. But what people do is they allow the lack of progress to dilute their belief, and they start to now, instead of seeing this picture as it was, they start to see the opposite. They start to use their imagination, and think about this, it's image. So they start to image in their mind a picture of the image not happening. And so now they use this process in reverse, and they become more and more in belief of the opposite of what they want, and that actually becomes your true desire, because your subconscious mind can only accept. So it doesn't know the difference between what is real and what isn't real. And so when you start getting more emotionally connected to the negative image based on what your senses are telling you, you now give your subconscious mind a contradictory picture, and it's a negative idea. And that negative idea, you become more emotionally connected, and you start to go further away from this picture of what you desire, and you continue to go closer and closer, and it's actually the same process. So what's happening is, instead of you producing the reality of this picture, you're now producing the reality of this picture, and your actions start to reflect the belief in the negative and not the positive. And so how do we do this? How do you wait on the Lord? You have to have a very clear picture of what you want, and you have to stay focused on that picture at all cost. It's exactly like watering and putting sunshine and water on your dream or on your goal or on this image, on this seed. It's the same exact thing. If you plant something in the ground and then it doesn't have sun and it doesn't have water, there now is an expectation that that seed may die. That seed may not actually have the power or the resources to become what the image was on the inside, which was that oak tree. And so in order to water and to give sunshine to these dreams and these goals, you have to keep that image and that expectation of what you want more powerful, be more emotionally connected to that idea than the negative idea, if you're ever going to see that idea come to pass in your life. And so, here's the powerful thing about being a human being versus anything else on the planet is right now in this moment, you can change everything for your future. Maybe you are in a place where you've been pessimistic because you've had hopes, you've had dreams, you've had goals, and yet you feel like you're not making any progress. But then when you look at this picture, you say, oh, that's what I did. Maybe it was a year ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, maybe it was yesterday that you started to use your imagination to create a picture of what you don't want, and you actually became more emotionally connected inside. You know when you're doing this because you can feel it. You start to feel bad, you start to feel scared, you start to feel worried and anxious. And so those feelings start to reveal the image in your mind that you're focusing on. And now that, when you become emotionally connected to it, that's an indicator that your subconscious mind is receiving a picture, and that picture is what is going to be taking place. Now, that is the seed that is getting all of the focus and all of the attention. And so what you can expect is, man, as I focus on that image, as I give attention to the negative, that's actually what's being produced in my life. And so we need to catch ourselves. And so maybe this video right now is an interruption to that process. And that's great news, because here's the thing, at any moment we can change. It's so powerful because the Bible says that God's mercy is new every day. This is so powerful. This is why Jesus came, is he came to redeem us from this fallen system, this fallen world of the awareness of lack and limitation and sickness and disease and death and all that stuff. He came to make us aware of a new picture for our lives. That's why he said the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come that you may have life. How did he come to bring us life? He came to give us a new picture of this reality that we can walk in. He also said that whatsoever things you ask for, again, so many people get, well, I don't know if I can believe for that. Of course you can. Whatsoever things you ask for, when you pray, believing that you've received it, again, believing that you've received it. So that believing, this will be the last part of this video, is this believing. This is a consistency until you see it manifested in your life. This is a consistency. This means that you keep the belief, and so you keep the picture in mind, and the picture is the end result. So you see yourself. What is that goal? What is that dream? What is that desire? You see it in your mind. You create a picture with your imagination of the way you want it to be, not what your senses are telling you. And you keep that image, and you keep seeing yourself as if this thing is already done, and this process is happening, and you will see the result transform. And what's wild is it happens so much faster. The problem and the reason why it doesn't happen faster for people is because they are double-minded, and they keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Positive image, negative image, positive image, negative image, positive image, negative image. And that's where in James said, if you're lacking wisdom, pray for wisdom. But you have to ask in faith, not doubting, because a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways, and he can expect to receive nothing from the Lord because he interrupts this process. And it's continuing to come back and back. And so there's this awareness that we are responsible for the results of our life. God's already done everything. He's created all things. And so now it's our responsibility to take him at his word. And so his word is whatsoever things you ask for when you pray, believing you've received them. That's at a subconscious level. You will have them. And that faith will actually be reflected in your actions. And so you will see, man, I am experiencing this faith because I'm taking action. And when you recognize, man, I'm not taking action, you can say, what is the image that I'm focusing on? So I'm going to do a lot more of these videos, but I thought this would help when you're looking at, okay, I'm waiting on the Lord. It feels like it's kind of passive. And you know that you're waiting on the Lord when you are taking action on the end picture. Okay, so whatever it is, your goal, your dream, your desire, there's something that you're hoping for. But if you're discouraged, I want this video to be an interruption. That you've got to catch the discouragement, and then you've got to use your imagination to come back to the image. And this is why it's so important that you put in front of your face on a daily basis the picture of what you are dreaming for. What is it? And I call those a goal or a worthy ideal. Your worthy ideal is the thing that you desire, and you've got to keep it in front of you, and you have to keep it in front of you as an image of yourself, and you use your imagination. So I hope this video helps you continue to wait on the Lord, but don't do it passively. Don't just blind faith, wishful thinking like, oh, something's going to change. What needs to change is the inner picture that you have of yourself. And as you hold and cling to that in faith, you're going to start to see your actions change. And what's happening is this law of gestation is taking place, and that picture on the inside is now manifesting into your life, and you will see it come to pass. It is a promise. This is what faith looks like. This is the process of faith. And so it's guaranteed. You know that if you plant an acorn in the ground and you water it and you get it sun, it's going to become an oak tree. It's not going to become anything else. It has to become an oak tree. Same thing with whatever it is that you're dreaming of and you're desiring. As you plant that in belief, and you see yourself, and the image of yourself doing, being, and having the thing that you desire is more strong than what your senses are telling you, the law of gestation is working in your favor. All right, this is Kevin Bjorklund. This is Mindset Mastery. It's being a goal-getter. It's living life on purpose, and it's designed to get you living life on purpose every single day in faith, hoping in the Lord, and manifesting in your life the dreams and the desires and the goals, the worthy ideal that you have, so that you live out every day successful and satisfied. All right, be looking for the next video. Thanks for watching this one.